Hello and welcome to Dishonored 2, Dishonored Death of the Outsider. This is sort of a standalone game. It's not a DLC to Dishonored 2, but it's obviously connected to Dishonored 2 quite a bit. This is Megan Foster, aka Billie Lurk, who was mentioned a lot in the DLC of Dishonored 1, and also was a pretty important character in Dishonored 2. So if you want to learn more about her, just go watch that. Might be more important. New game. Empty slot. And we'll stick with medium.
My name is Billie Lurk, though there aren't many people who remember. For years, I stayed hidden, captain of a ship called the Dreadful Whale. I was a smuggler, fence, and maybe traitor, depending on who you ask. Our names are always overshadowed by the words whispered after them. If you hide from the world long enough, eventually nobody remembers you. Then you're alone, living with your choices. But I could never forget the man who pulled me up from nothing. Dowd, the Knife of Dunwall. A name called out by the desperate or the dying. The assassin who ended one empress and saved another. Shame burns inside you for a long time. When I betrayed Dowd, he let me live. I left Dunwall and my own name behind. For years, I wondered if I was worth forgiving. For years, I laughed at myself for even wanting a killer's forgiveness. Sometimes mercy cuts deeper than any knife. Now I know that forgiving is something you do for yourself as much as for the people who hurt you. I know Dowd is in Karnaca, and I'm going to find him. Every night for weeks, the same terrifying dream. A street fight, my arm dead and lying in the gutter, my eye gouged out by a Grand Guard sword. But when I wake up, they still hurt for hours. Gives me the creeps. This always brought me a little comfort. You stole this for me, didn't you, Deirdre? Now it's all I have left of you. Another relic from the old days. Still holds an edge, at least. That boxing club in the Albarca Baths is my last lead. Dowd has to be there.
Okay. Oh. Alright, you can view list of contracts from your journal. You can activate markers and targets. Some additional hints are provided in the description. If you succeed a contract, you'll be rewarded with a good amount of coin and sometimes a bone charm. Okay. Review the board. Contract. You have no contract. Okay. Also, there's a weird thing in this game where they have, like... This is my current turn radius in this, and I need to be able to turn more, otherwise I'm just like... You can hear me trying to get the mouse to move. So, I'm gonna try to fix this. Hold on. Okay, this is better. I can do this. Okay, let's see. I wouldn't have blamed Emily for killing me then and there, bringing down an empress and everything gets thrown into chaos. A lot of people got hurt, but it was worse than that, wasn't it? I helped her kill her mother. That's 2 times I was spared, but at least I got to put it right. This is how Dowd felt. My dreams are getting worse too, stronger. Sometimes I stare at my right arm like it shouldn't be there, and my head hurts like I'm blinded by blood. I started to write it all down just to keep a handle on it. 2 weeks until I'm back in Karnaca, the longest 2 weeks of my life. If I even make it, the engine is rattling bad. My old self again. It felt good to say the name, even better to hear it, and now it's in every corner of Karnaca. Wanted, Billie Lurk. I've been sending up messages to my contacts in the city, following up on sightings and rumors, but nothing yet. I even listen to the rats. Sometimes they know things others don't. And the voices around me so much of Deirdre. I found the old man's wanted poster in the trunk. Now I'm looking for Dowd like it's all of Dunwall was 2 years ago. I hope I have more luck than they did. A long shot. One last lead. An underground boxing club of all places. Dowd could be fighting there. Maybe another dead end, but I have to be sure. Try to pump out the engine room, but no use. My ship's dead in the water. Megan Foster would have been furious, but I'm not. I've got other things to care about now. Interesting. bone charms. We got anything? No. No contacts, and just this stuff. And we have nothing. What's this? Burn the White Hound, industrial espionage. Okay, burn the White Hound, an eyeless hag so my poor Milky. He's white as whalebone but riddled with disease. It breaks my old heart to ask this of you, but if you found my Milky, please put him out of his misery and burn his remains. Save him from those cursed eyeless and save Karnaca from another plague. Okay. Industrial espionage. Those things that the all barker make potions and bone charms upstairs. Oh, those thugs. Their liquor is vile, but it sells for good coin, and we're losing punters to them by the day. Bring us the rat liquor recipe before the brewery goes out of business, and make sure to destroy their stock while you're at it. Okay. I don't mind these contracts, because they're, like... Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I don't mind those, because that's not killing.
Spying, picking pockets. Dowd taught me more than just killing. It can keep me afloat. For now.
Sokolov established a studio in Tivia. Renowned natural philosopher and painter Anton Sokolov returned to Tivia this week after years of retirement in Karnaca. Sokolov, whose inventions and technological marvels are famed throughout the Isles, was greeted with fanfare and panoply due a national hero. A parade in his honor culminated in a festival on Mastrov Square in Dabokva, where Sokolov gave a brief speech announcing the establishment of his studio. When asked what his future plans, the inventor responded, I've already done enough for several lifetimes. The inventor was overwhelmed by the infernal noise of the parade and left the celebration early. He gave no indication whether or not the studio will accept apprentices.
Good to see the old man made it up north. I was lucky to know him. I wonder what poor soul is dealing with him now.
Renovation projects in Tau District are finally underway as the last funeral rites were performed for the High Overseer Yul Kulan and the Brothers of the Faith who died in an attempt to retake Dunwall Tower from the now deposed usurper Delilah Copperspoon. The Abbey of the Everyman has spent the last several months consecrating and interring the remains of the fallen, while also removing dangerous and heretical objects from the Imperial Palace. With representatives from the Isles beside her, Empress Emily Caldwin issued a statement yesterday morning urging the unity in the wake of this great tragedy. The Empire's strength in its diversity of thought and action working together. There is nothing we can't accomplish. We are pleased to reassert our partnership with the sovereign nations of Morley, Serkonos, and Tivia for our mutual peace and prosperity. Following these proceedings, several imperial proclamations have been issued with an aim to restore trading networks and communication across the Isles. Several large-scale public works have been announced, with architectural firms in Serkonos and Morley already competing for commissions.
So, Her Imperial Highness is back on the throne. If she knew what I was doing now, she'd probably try me for treason. Is this what you would have looked like, my sweet Deirdre? I would have died soon after you, if it hadn't been for Dowd.
Well, alright. Alright, let's go. Okay, where are we? We're kind of here, wherever here is. It's not... Oh. These are the strongest they've ever been. Feels like I'm really dying. Each time I'll be in the alien Karnaca, the sleeve of my coat soaked to the shoulder in blood. Half blind, face split open like a river crust. Thieves waiting to check my head for gold teeth and grab a better pair of boots. Or the Grand Guard, swords bloody, laughing as I die. It's a little different every time, but not by much. When I wake up, I look in the glasses to make sure my eyes is where it was the night before. And who in the Oz has to check to make sure their own damn arm hasn't been hacked off in the night? Ridiculous. I'm running low on tobacco, with how much I've packed my pipe the nights when I can't sleep. I don't know what I'll do when it's gone. So, I'll explain that in a minute.
I've been searching for months. I know you're here, Dowd. Somewhere. Everyone in Dunwall was afraid of him then, but not me. That club is run by a gang that call themselves the Eyeless. They claim to fight using black magic. If that's true, then Dowd might be involved.
2 raids by the Grand Guard occurred last night, resulting in few arrests as investigations continue into the activities of the gang known as the Eyeless. Both raids were conducted on derelict warehouses in the Campo set dockyards. Several shipments of whalebone were found at both scenes, along with many carved talismans familiar on sailing ships. These trinkets marked with trains' insignias were collected along with various unidentified powders, noxious plants, and vials of unknown liquid. Though these items add credence to the rumors of black magic being practiced by the Eyeless, the Grand Guard is not called for overseer support. Roving Vice Overseer Cardoza of the Abbey of the Everyman, when reached for comment, stressed the spiritual dangers of carved bone charms and, if found, to bring them directly to your nearest overseer outpost for inspection and disposal. He gave no further remarks on the Grand Guard's ongoing investigation. Okay, what's this? Went to see old Madge again, trade some old whalebone and a bit of hair, not mine, for information. She's making charms for the Eyeless now. Good clients. Pay regular. Left before marriage, tried to pick my pocket. Some witches from the Royal Conservatory joined the Eyeless, powerless now. None from the Brigmore days who would remember me. At least, no reason to think they'll look twice if I go in like anyone else. Are these people just messing around, or is there something I'm not seeing? I think I lost my pocket knife. Madge? Curse that old woman. Can't know if Dowd's at Barker Bass until I go check it out for myself. Last lead I got.
Dowd's had the mark of the outsider in his hand for as long as I've known him. I've gone through every gang-infested slum asking after this, and no one would tell me a thing.
Megan, you must be pretty desperate if you're writing to me about this. Yeah, I saw him. He set up meeting to buy some of the funny explosives that fell off the back of a carriage a few months ago. I waited for him, but he never showed up. Sorry, I can't be any more help. I haven't seen or heard from him since. Put me in a real bind. Isabel. Also, hey, if you were kind not to mention it, but I didn't forget, I still owe you that case of fig wine after what happened last time. Give me 2 more months, I swear I'll get it to you.
Karnaca is full of secrets. If I have any clues about where Dowd is, it's because he let me find them.
Dearest Megan, what an intriguing message. Who's this then? An old lover? Forgive me, but it doesn't really seem like your type. But if you must, I heard a rumor a few months ago from the same gentleman that a man looking like that had been spied with those bizarre eyelids. I filed that piece of gossip away just in case it was important. Lucky you. When you're coming back here, make it soon. We miss you. We have some of that tobacco you like stored away just in case you visit. Loving you always, Evie Kitterick. Billie, or Megan, or whatever you go by these days. I don't know anymore. It was easy to pretend we didn't know each other when you were Megan. We agreed to respect both our new lives and not dredge up bad memories. So what are you doing? Yeah, I saw him 2 years ago in Karnaca, even asked after you. I said I hadn't seen you since that night in the flooded district. I'm sure you know why I lied. He never stopped killing, you know. He's got the same old grudges. I just hope you're not one of them. Okay. I have to have a dreamless night by drinking some of that foul liquor Anton left behind, but the dream came anyway, and now my head hurts like I've bashed it against a wall. The sea's choppy this morning, too. Just my luck. I've been in some nasty spots in the past, but I never had to pinch my own face shut or watch my hand twitch in the street. So why do I keep dreaming it? Every time it feels more like a memory than anything else, and it's getting worse. I'll have the dream when the fingers on my right hand are stiff for hours in the morning and I can barely tie a knot, and my right eye will go blind without warning. I don't know what to do. If I tell anyone about it, they'll just think I'm drinking Anton's liquor every night. I'm throwing the rest of that bottle overboard. Last night I fell asleep holding the charm Deirdre gave me. I remember her picking some rich man's pocket for some coin or a watch, and instead she pulled out this thing, dead and humming. She bundled it up in a braid of her own hair and gave it to me for luck. But it wasn't luck that made the rat start talking. It was only after Deirdre lay dying that it started whispering her sweet voice to me. I dreamed her in patches, red hair peeping up of her baker boy hat. Those sharp eyes, the quickest hands in Dunwall. We used to lie together, and the feeling of her fingertips across my skin would be the only thing in the world to me. I'd close my eyes and nothing else would matter. But in the dream she looked at me like she'd been alone so long she couldn't even recognize me. I reached out and my arm was gone, and I could barely see her through the blood and pain, so far away and me half missing. It was an older wound that hurt this time. When I woke up I was alone again. I don't know what I expected. I've been alone on the ship for weeks, nobody but me, and the rats that chew up the wires in the engine room. And then there's me, with a laugh. Okay, so the thing about Billie here with her missing like half her body, that's an issue to deal with. That. Well, that was creepy. That's an issue that came from her in-game here. Okay. Well, in Dishonored 2, anyway. So, what happened with that, was that when you first start the game, yeah, I've done well. When you first start the game, you notice Megan Foster, and she's, like, missing an arm, and one of her eyes is gone, basically. She just doesn't have an eye. But then, after you get to a certain point in the game, you can do something that affects time in the past. And those effects have huge butterfly ripples. And one of those ripples is that she has an arm. I mean, she has both of her arms, and her eye is back. And you're not really given an explanation for why that happened. It's just back. And so the fact that she's having dreams of this other world happening, that's important. Ooh. Your Imperial Highness, thank you for the gift. While your generosity is to the Imperial, because I don't want your coin. Lady Emily, I can't take your coin after what I did. I'm trying to find a way to make peace. Dear Emily, I wish to do mend, vest, seal, hats, bullets, whiskey. Trying to talk to Emily. This is like a different part of the ship. It's a lot more busted up than I remember.
This station hasn't been used for years. Hiding the dreadful whale wasn't easy, but it's safe so far.
Well, I mean, you don't really... this place isn't being used anymore, it's not a big deal. Oh, you can get up here. Okay. There was... oh, there is a door here, but we can't use it. And there was a third area, but it seems like you can't really get up there anymore. I mean, the place was busted up before. I guess it's just worse. I don't think I can get up much higher than this. But I know, yeah, the stairs were in there. Yeah. This whole place is a mess. Okay, so how do we get to where we're going? Oh, I see, we're right next to some docks. What do we have? We have this and we have this. We have nothing else. Just this and this. Okay. Wait, what's this? Electrical burst static gun that stuns targets. Standalone full of voltaic gun. Interesting. Okay.
What can you tell me today?
Press F to hear the thoughts of the rats. These little creatures whisper to one another, exchanging information about what is going on in the streets and the basement of from their point of view. The mnemonics are often cryptic, but sometimes they can give useful...
Little gutter friends.
The friend listens. The friend hears us. One of us. One of us. But an ugly and big, still friend. She fed us in lean times, tossed us grains and crumbs. Loud voices came, metal flashed. More blood and floods on the floor. Our first feast will lap her up.
Okay.
Policy set. Clean ropes up, up. Hide inside dark little belly. Wood rocks, water flows. Salt taste on fur. New homes grass. Keep in the water. That fish bite as we swim. Careful, careful. Watch for fins. Watch for black biting mouths. Salt drips down eyes. Shoot them. Burns us. Fire from inside. Scent of heat and death. Dangerous food. Keep in the water. That fish bite as we swim. Careful, careful. Watch for fins. Watch for black biting mouths. Salt drips down eyes. Shoot them. Burns us. Fire from inside. Scent of heat and death. Dangerous food. Dangerous food. Dangerous food.
None of this is making any sense. Okay. You guys have fun doing the things that you do there. I guess we're safe here. They don't really have anything to say to me, so I guess we'll just go. Yeah, let's go. I mean, maybe those rats had someone who cared for them and then she was killed and then they ate her and then they traveled across some boat somewhere, I don't know. Speculate.